Welcome to more late model stock car racing, and coming up, the longest race of the season. So hot and humid now. We saw showers of rain and overcast and cloudy earlier on. Just proves how the weather is so very, very changeable here at Warnerton. What's also changeable is race duration. We've had 3 20-lap races. Next race on the agenda is a real enduro, 75 laps, the longest race that these European late model cars will undertake. And there's a gaggle of drivers in the garage here. We're just going to check out how exactly anyone prepares for such a long race. Andy Andrews, first of all, race win already today, 75 lap race. One of the older drivers here. How on earth do you prepare for that physically?
Well, normally I start off about 2 days before, drinking plenty of water, trying to get plenty of rest, trying to not drink too much alcohol, and then
that's because actually in the car it's hot, it's humid, and it's probably fair to say the race will go with a stop, which perhaps gives you a breath of fresh air, but that's all.
Yeah. Other than that, you don't think about how hot it is. You think about how well you're doing and what you need to do better.
So without being rude now, both ends of the age scale in terms of European late model racing. Kelvin Hassel, driver number 13, 75 lap race. Kelvin, fine physical specimen that you are, being fit and healthy, that must help?
It does, I think. That said, I haven't been able to beat Tony in the last few times we've done this race, but I'm hoping for better things today.
It is a long race, it's very hot now, it's very humid. Does it really take it out of you? I mean, I've not been in that position, so I don't know what that like. Tell me how it feels as a driver.
It does take it out of you, but I'm hoping it's going to take it out of the others more than it takes it out of me.
Well, we shall see. All will be told very soon. Tony Roots, returnee after a while away from the racing. Glimmers of inspiration, it has to be said. Glimmers of hope of that race win coming back. To be fair, Tony, 75 laps can be blooming hard for you, isn't it?
It's a long way for me. I'm getting worn out on 25 laps. I don't know what's going to happen. If the car, I'm going to alter the car again in a minute. If I can get it to handle a bit better, less work, the car will go quicker and it'll be easier and I'll enjoy it. But if the car's not right, then I'll see me last about 40. I'll do 40 slow ones as well. There won't be 40 quick ones because I'll be conserving everything for the end, of course.
So former A1 GP race engineer, start marshal extraordinaire and lightning rod racer as well, Christoph van der Kerkhoff, we've seen you out in the European late models earlier in the year and you've had a degree of success. Unbelievably, the number 4 car appears in the last race, and with 5 minutes notice you're told to jump in it and go racing. That's a heck of a challenge, isn't it?
It was a hell of a challenge. It was already a hard and busy day, and obviously I got the call, like you say. I thought actually they told me I could race, and I thought it was only for the big race. So I never knew I had to do the next one, and they suddenly, why are you not in the car? And I said, oh, I better get going then. And I asked Roland to wait 5 minutes, so I got my helmet on, okay, and my stuff. And I was there. So.
You were there. Now the car seemed to be a bit wayward, perhaps a bit loose. The back end was struggling a bit, so probably not set up to your liking, but you still drove it very well.
Yeah, I did actually. It was very loose. I mean, obviously, it's always good to get a bit of practice on, and I've driven several cars, and to get them going well, you obviously need to do a few laps, do a few changes, and then get it right for yourself, which I hadn't had time to do that, obviously. But hopefully, with that one race, we can set it up for the final, and hopefully I can go from there.
Now, as a racing driver, Christoph, 75 laps, very long racing final. Takes a lot out of the car, takes a lot out of you physically as well. How do you prepare for a race like that?
Well, I didn't have any preparation at the time, so I just take it like it comes, and I would say stay out of trouble, and 75 laps is a long time. So, and try and keep the tires fresh for the last 25 laps, let's say. Stay out of trouble for the first 50 and go for the last 25.
So Christoph van der Kerkhoff then going to go for the last 25. And it is 75 laps around this 3/8 mile banked oval.
Then we have the second group, 66 is inside and 13 is outside. 66 inside. Number 3, stay out. Number 3, slow down, slow down.
And our race director then, Roland van der Meersch, getting the grid into order, and once he's satisfied, then the cars get themselves around the raceway, waiting in anticipation for the all-important green flag. So right on the French-Belgian border then, here in the fields of Flanders at the Warnerton Speedway, the biggest field of the year, contests the longest race of the year in this European Late Model Series. And right at the very front of this packed grid of cars then, it's Winston Graham in the black 34 car and Vincent LeHook alongside him in the all-orange machine. And what a sight it is, all these cars getting themselves away around this Warnerton Speedway with the Kelvin Hassel car, the orange-roofed black vehicle, making good progress. Right at the back we see 07 Jean Vasseur and also Gary Ellis in car number 95. But look at this, right at the front, Vincent LeHook, who's building up a bit of a lead over Winston Graham now. Bertrand Zor in there as well for good measure. And the Raptor racing cars beginning to make infields into the top 3-4 places now. There's a real batch, the first 5 cars, then there's a bit of a gap before we get into the cars that are jostling for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th position, and Xavier van der Meersch is in there already in the number 19 car. 75 laps of hot rock in action around the Warnerton Speedway to come, and we're in the early stages of this race. 34 Winston Graham, there's Kelvin Hassel going through, then the white machine, white and blue and green machine now of Xavier van der Meersch, who is making fantastic progress. Gary Ellis and Jean Vasseur there in 07 and 95, a little bit boxed in. We can hear our race director advising drivers what to do all the time and where to go and where not to go. So Gary Ellis goes low, inside now, trying to get past car number 5. And he succeeds, and Wim Moonen follows suit as well, the Dutch driver in the yellow car number 73, former lightning rod champion here at this very track. Hugely experienced racer is Wim Moonen, and he's been battling around 4th and 5th place in the championship for the entire season. So a huge crowd here to watch this 75-lap endurance race from these European late model cars. So it's Ellis, Vasseur and van der Meersch who are all separated by just a handful of points for that championship, and one of those drivers goes round. Jean Vasseur, 07.
Carina, heb je wat gezien? Green, 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 green.
So away we go again, and all the lead that Vincent LeHook had built up counts as naught in this restart. And look, Gary Ellis already in there in a tangle of cars trying to get through as we go on board with one of the Raptor racing cars, and we can see the back end of Xavier van der Meersch. Xavier, Gary Ellis and Jean Vasseur, those are the 3 that are battling right at the top of the championship points table at the moment, and Xavier van der Meersch is looking really good in this 75-lap race. Around the outside he goes as we see the damaged number 4 car off to safety on the infield. So Gary Ellis there goes Tony Roots in 77. These cars absolutely thundering through as we go back on board around the outside of Kelvin Hassel, who's driving car number 13 with the orange roof. The orange roof denotes absolutely nothing, he just likes the colour. So this Raptor racing car around the high outside line, going great guns indeed. We've got treble 2, Jos Janssen right in front of us. And there is our race leader, Vincent LeHook. Then it is car number 22, another one of those Raptor racing superstars, Anton Gunnarsson, who's being hounded by Xavier van der Meersch. And Xavier trying to find the inside line. Surely he'll have it now. We go back on board to see what it's like from a driver's eye perspective, and that's what happens when Jos Janssen tries to cut your nose off. Jos goes round, and Kurt Dujardin, his teammate, having to take evasive action and very nearly crunching the wall, but he avoided it. Incredible stuff from these European late model drivers who mean every bit of it. Desperate to win this, the longest race of the year for them. There's Jos Janssen in treble 2 then. So while they sort out the muddle, we're going to take a quick break.
We are ready, gentlemen, we are ready, and it's still a very long way to go.
Green, 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 green. Green, 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 we are ready, and it is a long way to go. And it's a long way to go for 66. Vincent LeHook then, who is leading this race. To his outside is Anton Gunnarsson. Right behind him is Xavier van der Meersch, as we go on board with Kurt Dujardin to see what it's like now as they battle up front. The places 1, 2, 3 occupied by Vincent LeHook, then it's Xavier van der Meersch, and then to his outside then it is Anton Gunnarsson. absolute V8, awesome power, thundering around this 3/8 mile oval here at Warnerton, with Gary Ellis and Jean Vasseur from the earlier stoppage having made great progress to get back on terms. But this is where the action is, right at the front. Vincent Lehook is driving absolutely superbly and holding those drivers at bay. Xavier Vandermeers looks inside, outside, tries to find a way around the car number 66. Right now he's going high outside and he's going for that outside line. Just can he get alongside enough to make it count? He really is trying, giving it everything he can. Xavier Vandermeers then in the blue, white and green backed car number 19. He's staying with that outside line. Once again, we go on board with Kurt Dujardin, who is currently holding third place and now himself takes a look on the outside. We almost thought Xavier had done enough, but no, not so. So it's Lehook, then it's Xavier Vandermeers, and look, Gary Ellis a long way back in car number 95. He's got a lot to make up. Gary is one of the trio right at the top of the championship table, and a bit of a whale tail on there for Vincent Lehook. Was that enough for Xavier Vandermeers to get around and just get his nose in front? Surely, yes, he's done it. He is through, and he takes the lead. Xavier Vandermeers then in car number 19. Little puff of smoke out of the back of the car. I'm sure the engine is saying thanks very much, Xavier. He's absolutely burying his foot through the floor on the accelerator pedal.
The leaders are coming. Stay inside. 34. Stay inside. Okay.
So Winston Graham then, a backmarking car, being told by race control to stay inside. He stay inside, he does, as we go back on board with Raptor Racing. Vincent Lehook does go past the backmarking 34 car of Winston Graham, and so too Kurt Dujardin, who we're on board with in third place. It's Xavier Vandermeers that's leading the way. Then it's Vincent Lehook with the drive of his life, the best drive we've seen from him this season, in second place in the orange and white car. And then Kurt Dujardin from Raptor Racing, who now is beginning to pile the pressure on. Absolutely nothing between these cars at all, going round here at an absolutely ferocious pace. Weather conditions absolutely perfect for driving, and Lehook goes! Indeed, yellows are out, and Vincent Lehook goes.
Number two at the back of the field.
So Kurt Dujardin then gets a black cross for helping number 66 around and has to go right to the very back. This formula is ruled by a rod of iron from our race controller, Roland Vandermeers.
Okay, gentlemen, we are ready to go. We are ready.
Kurt Dujardin then right to the back he goes, and now look at this. As once again we go green, 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 green. All of a sudden this looks a different race. So alongside Xavier Vandermeers now is the 2007 champion. It's 07 Jean Vasseur, who had a spin earlier on. Wim Moonen, who's been battling around 4th and 5th in the championship, is now up to 3rd place. The Dutch driver Wim Moonen in the all-yellow car. This is going to be one heck of a battle at the front. So Jean Vasseur in 2nd place. Xavier Vandermeers leads. Wim Moonen is 3rd. Then we see Tony Roots. And then Anton Gunnarsson in 4th place. But right at the very front then, Xavier Vandermeers propels his V8 powered motor around here like a thing possessed. He's got his nose in front and he wants to keep it there. We go back on board with Kurt Dujardin, who already has made a real effort to get back on terms, as befits the Raptor Racing team name. He is like a bird of prey, ready to swoop right now on the car of Tony Roots, number 77. Xavier Vandermeers still leads. Jean Vasseur tracking him every step of the way. And the big guy in the yellow car from the Netherlands, Wim Moonen, in 3rd place.
77, okay.
So Xavier Vandermeers got perhaps a couple of car lengths lead over Jean Vasseur right now. Is Jean just letting his tyres cool down a bit and then bringing them back on? We don't know what strategies are playing through these drivers' minds. It's a long, heavy-duty race for these guys. And Kurt Dujardin already, look, from the back of the field, he's battling alongside Tony Roots on the inside. Kurt Dujardin then sent right to the back of the grid for helping Vincent Lehook get spinning round. But already has made tremendous pace and is coming through nicely into 4th place right now. And that's the car we're on board with as Wim Moonen spits flame out of the back of his all-yellow European late model car, as does Jean Vasseur in anger. But it's Xavier Van der Meers that's leading. There is 07 Jean Vasseur. Wim Moonen really tracking in now.
There's a car slowing down.
Now this looks like bad news indeed for Gary Ellis. Gary Ellis, we've just passed his car number 95. It was on the infield. Looked like there was something wrong with that car. And his two biggest competitors in the championship are 1 and 2 in this race at the moment. So bad news for Gary Ellis, but let's get back to the race. And this is the race that's being run by Xavier Van der Meers at the moment. Then we see 07 Jean Vasseur. Wim Moonen in the all-yellow car is still there in third. And this guy, who's made a tremendous effort from the back of the grid, Kurt Dujardin, to get back on terms and be in a place position at the moment. He dives up the inside. The black car in front is 34, Winston Graham, who's a back-marking car. And loads of panel work falling off the back of Winston Graham's car from an earlier skirmish.
Look in your mirrors.
So Anton Gonnerson from the Raptor Racing team is also moving up, and we can see Kelvin Hassel in there as well. Those are the battles for 5th, 6th and 7th place going on as we continue right up front here. Jean Vasseur we can see in 2nd place. Bertrand Zor there, and Wim Moonen goes round. Wim Moonen spins out. Wim Moonen, who's sat in 3rd place as we see the waved yellows once again.
There's 15 laps remaining, 15 laps remaining. Shoot out. No more yellow now, except of course for an accident.
Oh, so it is going to be a 15-lap dash for the cash then.
Green.
And we get the greens as we go for this high-speed shootout. 15 laps remain. And right at the front there, Jean Vasseur and Xavier Van der Meers doing everything they can, and it looks like Kelvin Hassel. Well, I was going to say it looked like it blown up. There was a huge pail of smoke out of the back of his car, which if that is the case, of course, that will have dumped oil on the track. But everything seems to be okay at the moment. Away we go. Wim Moonen, look at the damage on his car from that earlier spin. So it's Vasseur and Van der Meers. The battle for the 1 and 2. There's Kelvin Hassel, the puff of smoke. Goodness only knows what that was about. It's gone now. Andy Andrews in car number 17 on the inside in 5th place currently. But it's Xavier Van der Meers and Jean Vasseur. Now, has Jean's tactics paid off? He let his tyres rest and cool down a bit. It looks like Xavier Van der Meers' car is very loose in the corners. That means the back end is getting round. Although after saying that, Jean Vasseur locks up as he piles the pressure on the brakes. And now, Dujardin is going to take a look around the outside, is he? This is the battle right at the front.
07 last call. Next time we have a black flag.
So 07 being threatened with a black flag then for chopping and changing lanes. The white line that goes around this circuit, you have to choose whether you want to stay inside or outside. You can't change your mind at the last minute. If you do, you suffer the wrath of the race controller. So it's Xavier Van der Meers that is leading. It's Jean Vasseur doing everything he can to get on terms with him. With just 5 laps remaining, Kurt Dujardin, who's desperately trying to find something. So is Jean Vasseur. Xavier again gets it very sideways. So just 5 laps left. Xavier, you have to say, has kept his nose really clean out front. And what's this? A little bit of a battle going on there between Kelvin Hassel and Anton Gonnerson in car number 22. And Anton Gonnerson gets the better of it, and he goes through. And more yellows!
Yellow, slow down. Turn 4.
And that's the reason why. Bertrand Zor in there and Vincent Lehook as well. A bit of a spin there for Bertrand Zor in car number 71, the blue and red machine, and also Vincent Lehook. And Vincent Lehook earlier, you'll recall, led for the early stages of this 75-lap endurance race.
66, you lost the car, you will have to go at the back of the field. 66.
So 66 then, Vincent Lehook is being sent back to the back of the field, and there's only going to be 2 or 3 laps left of this race. My goodness me, this is going to be exciting stuff as Bertrand Zor gets a push and gets his car going again. Look at this lineup at the front. Oh, Incredible. Xavier Vandermeer, Jean Vasseur in second place. Then we see Kurt Dujardin, then it's Wim Moonen, then it's Anton Gunnarsson, then it's Kelvin Hassel. They occupy the top 6 places with number 17, Andy Andrews, who's currently on grid and looking at a 7th position.
66, you go at the back of the field.
So 66 once again being told to go back to the back of the field. Dan Boy's driving the all-red number 5 car right in the middle of the shot at the moment. So,
gentlemen, we have 2 laps to go, and
2 laps is
now.
all
2
that
laps.
remains. This is going to be such a fight to the finish. As the cars are all bunched together now, Xavier knows he's got an awful lot of work to do to protect that first place from Jean Vasseur. Here we go. This is it, the 2-lap dash to the checkers. Jean Vasseur and Xavier Vandermeer are absolutely side by side. Xavier seems to have just got the edge, or has he? Jean Vasseur fights back.
1 lap.
1 lap, it's the last lap, the final of this 75-lap endurance special. And Jean Vasseur is trying to get alongside. He's done it. He's through. That is remarkable. Surely Jean Vasseur has done enough. He crosses the line with his nose ahead of Xavier Vandermeer. Then it looks like Kurt Dujardin, then it's Anton Gunnarsson, and then it's Wim Moonen.
So the winner is the 19 because the 07 had black cross.
It's a pleasure to win a race after the big crash, and I didn't have to win absolutely because I knew he had a cross, so it was not necessary to battle till the end. If he was first, that was not a problem. With the cross he came.
So Jean Vasseur then crossed the line first. Earlier cross means you get pushed back 1 place, so second place. But second place in such a race,
yes,
good.
Second place, no. No, it doesn't take a lot of point on me, so second place is fine for me.
So Anton Gunnarsson then, Raptor Racing, elevated to 3rd position on the podium. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much. As you have seen, it is not the one who comes with the smartest car who is the first on the track. But anyway, I was 3rd this time, and I fought for it, as you have seen.
It was a hard-fought battle. And what surprised me was it was a hard-fought battle for nearly every one of those 75 laps.
I think that applies in particularly to me, because as you have seen, there was a weird event that brought me to the back of the field. From the back of the field back to 3rd was a battle. I can guarantee you a battle that can only be fought in 1 tour. And he did fight it in Warnerton as Kurt Dujardin, his teammate, down to 4th. So Xavier takes the win, Jean Vasseur 2nd, Anton Gunnarsson we've just seen 3rd, and Kurt Dujardin then in 4th with Wim Moonen and Kelvin Hassel 5th and 6th places. Wow, look at this championship now. Jean Vasseur and Xavier Vandermeer neck and neck on 1,268 points, with Gary Ellis 3rd, Wim Moonen 4th in the championship, and Bertrand Zor in 5th. Well, the European late model racing done and dusted here at the Warnerton Speedway, where the sun is shining, and as you can see, still some racing going on here. So for the European late models, it's off to another track, the 3rd type of racetrack that they will have encountered on their inaugural season. The tight confines of the quarter-mile Vauxhall Heath Raceway at Ipswich. Please join us from there.